All right, you're all mine to talk about all things funny. So, Mike, congratulations on all your success. Incredible stand-up comedian. You're on tour, and your successful tour, Noir, is coming to Toronto.
Yeah, I'm doing the Great Hall in Toronto in English. It's my first time doing a full show in Toronto, apart from festivals. I've done Just for Laughs twice, but this is the first time I go out on my own.
Not only have you entertained hundreds of thousands of fans that come to see your live show, and you've won so many awards, but what is it about your comedy brand? How would you define it?
I guess the best way to describe me is controversial. I like pushing the envelope. My favorite comics are guys like Dave Chappelle and Jimmy Carr. A little dark. That's why the show's called Noir. Noir is dark or black in French. So it's dark comedy. It's if you like laughing at things that you think, oh, I don't know if we can still make fun of that, this is the show for you.
I don't cheat on my wife. Don't cheat. And not because I'm a good person, just I don't want to disappoint someone new.
You're more of a situational comedian the way I look at it, correct?
Yeah, I don't like comedy that you hear someone tell a joke and anyone could tell that joke. So I like stories that come from me, from my personal experience. And it's all stories about my childhood, basically things that I think are weird in society or wrong in society. And
Right.
I try to make them right.
What about your victim? And I was like, well, what victim? And he was like, well, when you did the Michael Jackson joke, Michael Jackson was your victim. I was like, no, those little kids were his victims.
No one thinks of going to stand-up comedy as a career initially, right? Like, how did that come to your mind?
I'm from Quebec City, and when I moved to Montreal, I told my friends I'm gonna be a comic because the festival's there and blah blah blah. But every time I'd come back, they'd always hassle me, "How's comedy?" And I was like, "I haven't started yet." And one night I was with them. I didn't want to tell them that I hadn't started yet, so I was like, "I've been doing the Comedy Works every week, and it's going well." And they were like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And they were, "You're there every week?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm there every week." So they were like, "Perfect, we're going on Monday to see you." So I had to call the Comedy Works and beg them for a spot. I told the guy hosting, I was like, when you bring me up, don't say that this is my first time, say that I'm a regular. So he brought me up and he said, this next guy, you know him, you love him, here's Mike Ward. And it was my first time, and I did really well because half the audience were people I went to high school with.
I couldn't get her to come. Like, I couldn't make her come, no matter what I did. And I did everything to try to get her to come. Like, I had dildos, I had vibrators, I even bought one for her.
This is your career, and your tour is getting such incredible buzz. But I have to ask, was there ever a plan B for you when you started? Like, if I'm not going to do stand-up comedy, I'm going to...
Yeah, no, I didn't. When I first got to Montreal, I thought I was going to be a comic, and I figured I'd go to university to get a bachelor's degree in something just to have a plan B. And then I saw a bunch of really, really good comics that had a plan B, and they all ended up quitting. And then I saw other comedians that didn't have a plan B, and they just worked way harder. So I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So I wanted to give myself the most chances possible, and that was by having no other options.
Not a bad joke, but in a club, it's a good joke. On the news, not so good.
We want to talk a bit about the incredible success you had that has made, Guinness Record. It is the largest live podcast. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have a French podcast called Mike Ward, Sous Écoute. It's the biggest French language comedy podcast in the world. And we did it last summer at the Bell Center. We sold a little under 21,000 tickets. We sold 20,896 tickets for a live taping. And the old world record was, I think, 12,000.
That's a huge difference. Congrats on that. But you're also going to be performing your live podcast in French here in Toronto as well on Saturday.
I'm doing the comedy bar. That's going to be a lot of fun. The thing I like about doing touring, and especially there aren't that many French people in Toronto, so it's going to be fun to do the podcast in front of 100 people or whatever. So it's going to be really cool to go from the Bell Center, 21,000 people, to the comedy bar. And then the week after, I'm doing the Centre Vidéotron in Quebec City in front of 12,000 people.
For those out there that want to check out your podcast, tell us a little bit about what those two podcasts are about so people can kind of check it out.
My English podcast is called Two Drink Minimum. It's me and a comedian friend called Pantelis, and it's and we have our producers Poseidon. So it's me and two Greek guys, and it's basically me and Pantelis that bully Poseidon in a fun way. Like we love him, but he's just kind of a buffoon. And Sous Écoute is basically it's the French podcast. It's basically conversations that comics have in the green room or the dressing room or the bar after the show.
Okay, so check that out. You're going to be in Toronto, and check out you're touring everywhere. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Everybody, check out the iconic, talented comedian Mike Ward, who's going to be performing here in Toronto, July 7th. Thank you so much, and check him out. Follow me on social media at Melissa DiMarco for more exclusive content. I'll see you guys out there.